Hello.
Wow,
Hello. Welcome. This is the NgoVo Convo podcast. I'm Harrison, and I'm joined by Veronica over there.
Here.
See?
Here.
See? But I just want to add, Veronica, I'm trying to throw you off. So we just really want an excuse to talk about anything that entertains us.
Yes.
In reality, though, it's just to clean up our never-ending backlog, which we're actually doing again today. Look at us. We're so good.
Wow.
We're about to do this a lot for the next couple of weeks. Some would say, Veronica, that we are two people conversing.
Wow, like NgoVo Convo, NgoVo Convo. Spelled right above Harrison's head. He's pointing. Logo's right there.
I am. You can watch every episode on YouTube or listen to it as a podcast by searching NgoVo Convo on your podcast service of choice. This video is sponsored by Olipop, but we'll get to the details later. Now, Veronica, this is great. I'm just glad that we're finally getting we're able to talk about it. We're doing a season review or talk or wrap up or discussion.
Yeah.
Because we don't really give numbers at the end, so I don't want to say review, but it's a review for the algorithm.
Yeah, it's a review. Yeah.
No, yeah. We're going to talk about season 3 of Invincible. It just finished.
Mm-hmm.
As of recording, about a couple days.
Few
days?
Thursday,
last week.
Yeah.
So we're actually talking about it. This is great. I'm excited.
Like almost in real time. Oh.
It's nice being on schedule, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've actually been on schedule.
It has, yes. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So main thing is it's all 8 episodes are up on Amazon now. And again, they're roughly 40 minutes each.
At most 50.
I'd say 40 with a little, because their credits are longer. Yeah. So we'll give our quick non-spoiler thoughts and then our what we think about the show and blah blah blah, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of all of it. Because I don't know about you, I liked it overall. Mm-hmm. But I do have a little bit of nitpick, but that's I'm saying nitpick on purpose though. I wouldn't say it's enough to be oh, this show's bad.
I think I would agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Maybe so, our nitpicking might be a little different.
Yeah. So non-spoiler wise, I think this continues. So building off of season 2, right? Mm-hmm. Season 2, I think did a very good job in just delving into Mark's identity of what, or I guess grief, dealing with the grief of what happened in Chicago and then continuing going forward, right? And I think this just keeps going to I think this season just does a very good job in making you question just all sides of things, not just Invincible specifically, but just everything around whatever
and everyone
happens. And
what they're how they're a part of Mark's life.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah.
It makes you, it's not really question, but gives you perspective on a lot of things and question, but yeah. So I think the season just continues doing that very well, and overall it was a fun watch. I don't know about you. What did you think?
No, I agree. And plus season 2 was fresh in our minds, because I know a lot of people had to wait 1 year. So, but then for us, it was just a couple of weeks, honestly.
Yeah.
But no, I think you're correct. I think overall, what they built on from 2, they continued with 3, and they just kind of added more layers to Mark, is what I'm seeing. Mm-hmm. Which I think is really nice, especially when you're around that age, 18, 19, you kind of don't know who you are. Mm-hmm. They're really pushing the ship of Eve and Mark. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited for what's to come. I know the creators wanted more. I think there's a max of 5 seasons, and I think each season should come out in a year's time.
A year apart.
A year apart.
The biggest gripe is that we had to wait a whole year for the next season. Yes. Now we're in that same boat.
But what they didn't do with season 3 was split it up. So if you remember in season 2 what I was
That's
saying,
right.
like the first
Yeah.
4 episodes were in November and then the last 4 episodes were in March. This time
That's
around, I
right.
think they learned their lesson and they just dropped all the episodes.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. And I think
Yeah.
the one thing I will say, like off the bat, it's not really spoilery, but I will say like the one, I guess one upfront thing that you can say is I think the animation. What do you think about the animation?
I thought it was a little iffy in the beginning, and then I could feel the budget being added on as we got towards the end. Like the last 2-3 episodes is when it was really, really good. But I feel like they were holding back a little bit on the animation. And when I mean holding back, I mean like, for example, Eve is like a really good character, but all she did was put up walls. Is like what I'm trying to.
I saw a clip
get
from
at.
like her special, and it really shows
Yeah,
like
I was gonna like dive into that
there.
in
Yeah,
spoilers.
but
Yeah.
I think overall the quality of the animation dips, and I don't know if that's like you mentioned the break and everything. I don't know if it's tied to. I don't know if it's tied to like the break and it gives them time to animate better. Because I remember people like watching season 1 for sure is like really good.
Yeah.
Season 2 was like pretty good. Actually, overall, I'd say it's really good.
The
This
special
one,
was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are points when I would sit there in season 3 where I'm like, that initially I didn't catch it.
Yeah.
But then there's some moments when you just kind of notice like, because this is not exactly spoiler either in the sense of if you've seen season 2, there's that one episode where they talk about the how they did you notice how like he was talking to the comic book creator and then talking about animation and they're talking about how they go about
point of views
or like cutting off like the mouth so they don't have to animate it and
yeah
they were talking about all this stuff and I'm like I kind of saw it this time around.
No, yeah.
Sometimes
they
and I'm like
yeah.
and it wasn't some of it was just kind of or not really just like the talking parts, it's the fighting. I think the fighting felt really stiff.
Yes.
And we'll get into the details of like where and all that, or maybe if I remember. I just remember there were parts, but I will be upfront, and I think that's one of the probably the major gripe I've seen online, and I kind of do agree because I noticed it. So
yeah,
but overall,
it was more noticeable this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because they didn't have enough time and they're trying to do the yearly thing.
Yeah.
But I also don't know. You can comment down below. I don't know what else they're working on. This team specifically.
That's true.
That's
But there's a flip side where they're saying that the show is better than the comics. So they were adding like Amazon only like content on there.
Yeah.
Like just to spice up the
and we'll talk about it.
Episode.
Because
Yeah.
I know I have a couple that I was aware of. You may have
Yeah.
more. Trying to think. Yeah, I think where it loses out on animation, I think everything else though, like plot wise and like juggling characters, getting backstory, doing all these things, phenomenal. They did a really good job.
Still very hyper violent.
Yep.
Very.
You get those moments you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, overall I enjoyed it. I could not stop watching it. And and Veronica said by the end, I think the last 2 episodes were the budget episodes. And you could just tell the animation goes up.
Yeah, it was a lot smoother. Those last 2 episodes.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Any other?
No, I mean just a lot of great voice actors just kind of popped in here. Might be spoiler, so I know.
Yeah,
say it.
I don't think we can. It would, if anything, it feels like a reunion. I think that's the most I can say.
Yeah, yeah.
And some karma.
A little bit of both, actually.
They really want, yeah. Actually, yeah. Yeah, that's true. They included a lot more high profile voice actors.
Yeah.
That was really nice. And it wasn't like too out there either. It just felt like it fit.
It felt right when they came in. Yeah. It wasn't, it didn't feel forced or anything.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think overall, we're just going to leave it at that with non-spoilers. And instead, Veronica, I'm going to take a quick break. to talk about our sponsors.
This episode is sponsored by Olipop, the soda your gut will thank you for. Yes, I'm talking to you, all of you. All right, have you ever missed that classic soda pop feeling? You know, the fizz, the flavor, but without the sugar crash and the guilt trip? Yeah, me too, me too, me too, you too, Harrison too. All of us. That's why I'm introducing to you Olipop, the soda that's bursting with flavor and good for you too. I actually have my favorite one here, strawberry vanilla. But the other weird one that I enjoyed was banana cream. I know, it's weird, super weird, but this is my favorite. Number 1, because it only has 3 grams of sugar per can, plus it has 9 grams of prebiotic fiber. And you know what you need with fiber? To use the restroom. Hee hee hee. But yeah, that means that you're going to have a happy and healthy gut with every sip. And it looks like that they took everything we loved about classic soda and upgraded to a modern, healthy conscience person. Like you, like me, like Harrison. My co-partner. My co-host that's not here right now. So ditch the compromise and experience the soda revolution for yourself. Don't forget to use our promo code NgoVo15 NgoVo15 to get 15% off your first order on drinkolipop.com.
And we're back.
Wow.
Look at us. I didn't want to take it too long of a break in between because it's like, oh.
Yeah, understandable.
Testing it out. Going back to what we kind of used to do. So off the bat, I just wanted to talk about how were there any characters that I think they brought it back a lot new, not a lot of new characters, just brought back a lot more characters.
Yeah.
I
was surprised at how balanced, like well balanced they were with all these characters coming in. Usually I think our biggest complaint is when it's too many characters or people, like you kind of lose out on the main character. But I think one of like the best parts about Invincible is that you don't lose Mark in anywhere, really. No. Unless it's talking about Alan and Nolan, like that, he's kind of out. But
I want more of that.
Yes, me too.
Way more. I wish we had more of that.
I think like it was just the perfect balance of like family and then like friends, enemies, just everything. I think that was like a really good portion of it. I might have to add that I do not like Oliver.
It's okay. I
don't like him.
I think his usage is important though, but I agree they did a good job in making you get annoyed. And
you know, I am an only child, so like maybe it's just like a little brother syndrome situation.
So if we're gonna talk about in terms of certain characters, right? I think with Oliver, it became a very because he would ask questions of like, oh, they'll just forgive dad, right? Like he does ask these questions, and as a kid, it makes sense, right? It's like
yes,
it's valid questions, but it's very difficult answers to give because
especially the viewer, about Omni-Man.
Yeah. And like as the viewer that is not, we're humans, it would be one of those things where it would be burnt into our mind, right? With like how that ended. So I get that he's probably annoying, but I guess it made sense of like as the other perspective of like just do it. Yeah. He's not this is where we were talking about like the perspective of is it right or wrong? It's the like that one episode where he was it the Mahler twins?
Oh yeah, he killed them.
Yeah.
A little crazy there.
Yeah. Yep. Especially for a kid, right? I think that answers the question. Like he it's always the cliche of like, oh, but I did it because it ends to a means,
it's for
right?
the good. Yeah, you're killing bad guys. Yeah.
But then it's always they were talking about the action, and I'm like, see, that's where we're in the gray area, and I love that this show keeps going back and forth on that.
Yeah. No,
but I can see why you were
like. I do like where your perspective is just, I don't know, it's just being like a little kid.
But then at the end though, when it came to Oh, what's his name? Oh my god.
Conquest?
No, not Conquest. No, I guess not NN, but like what the teleporter dude, the portal guy, voiced by
Oh. Oh.
here
Lee, what's his name?
Angstrom Levy.
Yeah.
When it comes to that,
Angstrom. Yeah.
when it comes to that, do you think he's wrong?
Oh no.
Yeah, see, that's
Yeah.
where I'm like, when it came to that, I was like, no, he's right. Should just end it.
Yeah.
Because if we're going to talk about, I will say, I think they got to shine a lot of light on a lot of characters. I think just two of them. I think so. Angstrom, I think one was kind of feel weird that he came back again, but I think they had to use him to get the portals for the other versions to come in, right?
Yeah.
I know that's the main reason. It's just like it just feels like it just feels old school comic book villain where he's like forever hating the hero, even though like his reasoning from the beginning was actually very sound.
No, yeah, it was very good.
Yeah.
And now he's just gotten a little crazy.
Black and white. Yeah.
A little crazy.
Yeah. And I will say, I think I'm gonna be critic on oh my god, what's his name? What's the director's name again?
Cecil?
Why can't I? Cecil. We're critical on Cecil. Initially, I loved his line of like, you can either be the hero or the person that saves the world. And I'm like, but you can't do both. And I'm like,
but you can't do both, yeah.
I was like, nice, perfect. And then at the end, I didn't get it. I didn't get the choice at the end.
Yeah, that ending made me nervous.
It almost made sense, like in
But
that
it doesn't.
always, but then because he always like tries to, based on what he's done with the other villains, right?
Yeah.
But this one is not. He's not trying to rehabilitate.
But because you can't, because they think they're above everyone.
It's just
kind of
like
hard to fix that.
Yeah, the Viltrumites, right?
Yeah, Viltrumites. Yeah.
It's just weird that like after seeing how much that dude can do, and Omni-Man, and honestly like Mark, what makes you think? I don't know. Comment down below, I guess, but I just felt like that was
stupid.
Yeah, it was just straight up stupid. Considering everything he does is pretty somewhat calculated, or like kind of back plan. Like he always has a backup plan. But that one was like the weirdest, like, we're gonna get info on him. And I'm like, okay, I guess. I know it's just a lead in for like an issue. I know it's just leading in.
Yeah.
And it was obvious that when Mark was like, burn him, I knew he wasn't gonna do it.
No, he wasn't gonna do it, no.
I just didn't know what he was gonna do, I guess. I was like, are they gonna try to, create?
It's pretty stupid.
That was my one thing. I was like, I like Cecil as like that gray area, like, oh, do what you must type of dude. Like, I get it. Mm-hmm. That was just the weirdest thing.
Yeah, I mean, we got Cecil's backstory, which I thought was cool because finally, after 3 seasons,
I'm telling you, the whole thing is pretty cool. I think it's really fun to like see that. Yeah.
And I think I like the dynamic of Mark and Cecil this season. They were like kind of like push and pull of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. It reminded me of like Civil War, like Iron Man and like Captain America. You kind of like the push and pull of like, oh, you do it for the good, or oh, it's a backup plan, even if it's bad.
I forget that Walton Goggins is like Cecil sometimes, and then I hear him talk, I'm like,
yes.
Yes.
Me too.
Oh man. I also like how Rex and what's her name? The Shrink Ray?
Oh, is it
Ray?
Shrink Ray? Ray, yeah.
I think her name's Ray, but like that's the whole thing is like she's Shrink Ray.
I think it's
Something
Ray.
Like that. Yeah. I actually enjoyed like that whole like relationship building up. Trauma bonding, starting off trauma bonding
until he died. It's fine.
Did you? Okay, I knew something was gonna happen. I knew someone was gonna die between the two. I thought it was gonna be her.
I thought it was gonna be her too because she didn't want to be a superhero anymore.
Yeah,
she wanted a normal life, but Rex
wanted. So
wanted...
of course it's more tragic to like have the guy that does want to.
Yeah.
Did you expect it though? Because when he was reaching, I thought he was gonna have another ace
I
up
thought
his
he was
sleeve.
gonna have another
Not
thing.
exploding wise, but he's got something else, right?
Which
But
was like kind of in his body because he reached into his cut, I think.
he reached for his bones. Yeah, he
Yeah.
reached to hold his
Okay.
skeleton to make it a bone.
Yeah. I was like, oh.
Which I was like, once he said my whole skeleton, I was like, did he make a skeleton?
Yeah,
No, he's just touching it. Oh,
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh, he's touching it.
yeah.
I was so sad because
It
I
was-
was like, oh, he got shot in the head last season. He had like a fake hand, like they made a fake hand, and he was just having a good time.
He had to come to Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, granted, he was butt naked the first episode of the season, but you know.
But I love how he's like, oh, I'm no longer the old me. I'm better. And then he walks into his old room when he was a teenager, right? And he's like,
Yeah.
oh no.
Old me would have done this.
I actually because they keep changing teams, right? I keep forgetting because he's like teen team or something. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
But like I forgot that Ray was not on that team and she was
No.
joining the Guardians. Also, Monster Girl was also joining. See,
Yeah.
I forgot that they just weren't on the team prior, but now they are.
So they kind of forgot what.
Yeah.
Or not forget, but then
No.
kind of go into like this area with fresh eyes.
I just didn't think. I was like, wait, they would know this stuff. Why are you giving them the tour?
Yeah.
I was like, oh wait, no, they don't. Never mind. Monster Girl getting a belt is kind of cool.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
No, that was really cool. I like their ship too.
Yeah. There's a lot of
It's cute.
ships that were
It's cute.
sailing
Yeah.
this season.
Yeah, I know.
Like, Duplicate also getting.
With
Or what do you
Immortal?
say? He's like, oh, I want to have a family or
Yeah, I
something.
want to have family.
Honestly, Immortal, like, his life sucks.
In any like multiverse.
In any multiverse, sucks.
That man's head gets ripped off anywhere.
So just from my thing, it's like, I want a family. I'm like, that's good, dude.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
That's nice.
That's nice, man. Poor guy.
Poor guy is just traumatized all around.
Yeah. And we're just gonna sit on characters for a while because they just kept going with backstory. Like we got more on Duplicate
Yeah.
too, actually, because it's
With Paul?
Multi-Paul,
Multi-Paul?
Paul,
Yeah.
Duplicate. I was like, damn, those are cool names. Nice.
I thought that was cool to see how they ended up where they were. It was cool to see.
His was kind of. I thought he was kind of
His was
cool.
sad. Yeah.
Did you? And it's actually it was kind of sad for the dad because it's very interesting because their typical like Duplicate. Obviously, Kate is like it's not dad's fault, but Paul's like no, it's dad's fault. I'm like. The dad just looked like he went crazy. So what did you
I mean,
expect?
if you had twins that were duplicating themselves and playing with each other or killing each other, you would also go crazy.
Mhm.
At like 6 years old, like that's like the
Yeah.
time where they're like playing.
And you saw it. You see them just.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them just playing, right? And it's cute. And then when you think about it, you're like, I'd go crazy too.
Yeah,
because
you're
they're
like,
kids,
oh, there's
right?
10 of them.
Yeah. Yeah. So, man, when Multi-Paul got out of his cage.
Ooh, that was a cool fight with him and Eve, though.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
really cool.
I mean, the first time he breaks out. I mean, when he was trying to break out the first time.
Oh,
he just
yeah.
created I don't know if
Yeah.
that would work physically, but it's enough to make me freak out. And I'm like, dang, you know what? Sure. Why not?
And that was smart of him to like be up in the ceiling window seal because they killed themselves after
Yeah.
a while.
And
so.
they've talked about it, like how Duplicate is aware and feels when they die.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. I think
Yeah.
that's a lot. Okay. I feel like do you feel like the Guardians were just shafted continuously?
Yes. They
'Cause
were really weak this time around.
I don't think they've been
Actually,
strong
recently.
ever since, though.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think
yeah.
they've been strong for a while, though.
You're right. But it's just like Mark's gone. Half the team's gone.
Mark's never gonna lead it.
Mark's never gonna lead it. You adding criminals to be superheroes, like what do you expect?
Like, I get it. It just feels like ever since literally the first episode, like Guardians died, they've been trying to replace them ever since. Yeah. And I think it's really funny because you can't
really replace them. And I think that team got smaller and smaller as the season went on. It was just like 4 or 5 people by the time we went to the end.
I like how they low-key had a civil war because of Mark. And not civil war, but they split. You know what I mean?
Like a split, yeah.
Like a civil war split type deal.
Maybe that was like an inspiration.
Yeah. It's a good inspiration. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
Any other characters that come to mind
I love Alan. I'm just gonna say it on record. Alan is great.
I know some people usually just don't like Seth Rogen. I think Seth Rogen's funny. I think I've just always liked his stuff, honestly, because I
think he delivers his lines very well here.
Yeah. Usually I'm like, oh, I can see the criticism, but this one I'm like, nah, he does really well to keep like, it's like for the viewer, right? I really feel like it's like your connection. It's an easy connection.
Yeah. And I just love how he's just like, no, man, I'm here to save you.
Just leave.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I'm stuck here too. Didn't you love? Because I said I wanted more. You wanted more of like Omni-Man and like.
Dude, that bromance is great. It's a bromance that I don't think Nolan really wanted, but was forced into.
That's like that buddy cop portion of the show, and I just can't wait for more. Talking about plot-wise, when he was saying the secret of the Viltrum Empire is that there's only 50 pure-blooded.
Oh yeah, 50. Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense. It's not. It's like wow. Like, oh shit! It is down to that point. I didn't expect only 50. I don't know about you.
Me too. Maybe that's why they're just like kind of spread out though too. So yeah. I think that's interesting.
It is, and it's. I know that's like that's the cultural like aspect that we're probably gonna delve into more. Is like, I want to see the flip side of like them talking about like the politics of, hey, you guys can't procreate.
Yes.
Other than like, they want pure-blooded, but I'm sure the amount that's there doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work. Yeah.
So I think that's why I think that it's kind of funny that Nolan's technically probably doing a good thing.
On accident.
No, I bet you they're gonna delve into that. He's like, no, that was a plan. I'm like, God dang it.
I think Mark probably, yeah. Oliver, I don't think was really part of it.
Yeah, you're right. Oh man. Did you have a favorite episode? Because it felt episodic this round, right?
It did, yeah. I like the one with the Scott Duvall guy. Not for the voice actor, not biased, but Aaron at
Wait.
all. But oh, did you not recognize?
Wait, oh, is that the what's his name?
Aaron Paul?
Aaron Paul? Yeah. That character
was really good.
That's good, right? I think I messaged you on time. I was like, this episode.
Yeah.
You should watch it.
And then I was like, what? Because I think I was like one episode behind, maybe.
I apologize. There are times I can't tell where you're at. And I think I low-key spoil things sometimes. But I'm also vague enough that I'm like, I don't think she caught it.
It's fine. No, I didn't catch it.
Because that was one where I was like, I think that was one or something else. I was like,
oh, maybe it was that or the dragon guy.
Where you were just kind of
like, oh yeah, blah blah blah. And I was like, huh, okay.
No, actually, no. Actually, straight up, I told you the ending of the season without knowing that you didn't watch the end of the season. The summoning circle. I said the summoning circle.
Oh.
But you could. Okay, see, that's why I was like, she didn't catch it because once you said what episode, I was like, she's on the dragon episode, right? Okay. She is 2 behind. I will shut up now.
Yeah, you went silent. I was like, oh, okay. I'll keep watching.
Good, because I was like, I don't know how to follow up with that.
Ignore. No, but I think the Scott story was probably my favorite episode. It just kind of shows you the perspective of like a normal person trying to fix what Mark and his dad did.
Yeah. And
yeah.
It was
Which
nice
is valid. It's very valid.
He tried to do it legally too.
Yeah.
He tried to go the normal way.
Yeah.
But just to be told like, oh, we don't have laws for those guys. And it does suck to think about, but it's like I'm sure that's just, again, we're coming from such a high superhero like fan, you know, like all the superhero media, right? So we know about all this stuff, but when you like look at it like in terms of just this world, makes sense.
No, it does.
They wouldn't have
I think that was
a
my
whole
favorite.
lot. Yeah.
How about you? Do you have a favorite episode?
Episode, I actually liked the one with Titan and how they brought back what's it, the robot dude, what's his name,
the dragon guy.
It's the robot dude that was in jail too, right? And
yes.
I forgot his name all of a sudden. I can't find his name right now,
but he's really funny.
I just like that they brought him back and I'm like, yes, he's so funny. I
like how the order is just like these like random groups of animals and people.
What I want to do, and I may end up reading after this because we have a whole year, because I wonder if there's like a bunch of like random characters that are more important in the comic versus like what we see in the show. Yeah. But overall, I thought that one was really fun because it was just fun. I think it's cool like that Titan really did show like, hey, because he showed like a vigilante, right? Essentially, he's like, hey, I'm doing things out of the law, but look at how the city is, and it's actually really nice. And you're like, oh,
this makes sense for this part of town.
This part of town, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
this is what he like kind of sold to everyone, especially with Mark. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. That was cool too. Yeah.
Oh, I do want to add. I think Scott Duvall as Powerplex, he's such a joke character, but he could be so good. He could be so good, but everything he did is just like, it just shows that it's actually kind of depressing, especially for him. He crashed
out the entire episode.
I love that. And
I think 2 episodes even, he was just crashing out in those 2 episodes, and that was his personality.
I think it was like one full episode and then like another part,
chunk
when he's captured and he's trying to help out. And his crash outs are valid though. It's true. It's not wrong. He's not wrong at all.
No, he is not wrong.
When what's his name, Shapesmith was like, he's like, I want Invincible. He's like, oh, okay, changes to Invincible. He's like, you got him.
Ooh, when he got split in half in that last, I was like, oh no, that's gross.
Yeah. You know what? No, my favorite episode actually, it's when the invasion happens.
Oh, the multiverse marks.
Yes. Yeah. The whole.
All voiced by the same guy. Oh my god. That was crazy. That was crazy voice acting.
No, it really shows that he's got such range on him.
No, he does. It was really dark when one of the marks went to his house and was like, I'm hurt, Mom. And then like no one was there because I think their mom knew she had to go into safety.
Yeah.
And he's like, I couldn't even kill her in this world.
He's like, I hate this place. Yeah. Steven Yeun's like really good. Like I feel like I know a lot of people know him from like Walking Dead and like what's the most recent show? There's another one that's like
there is another one.
It's like it's the live action one.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It was like him and the comedian lady or something. I forget.
Yeah, but a lot of people know him Walking Dead.
Yeah. So that was my segue too.
Yes. The reunion.
The reunion.
The deadly reunion.
Did you watch Walking Dead?
I watched up until they killed Steven, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Listen, the show was good up until then. When they killed Glenn, that was it.
So I've never watched, but I followed it enough because a lot of people, when we were in college, right, everyone's talking about it. So I would hear about it, and then there'd be like, "Oh, do you care?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm not gonna watch it. You can just tell me." So when
the biggest crash out when they killed him, I was just like, "Why?"
But man, so when what's the actor's name? Jeffrey Morgan? Jeffrey
Dean Morgan?
Yeah. I didn't recognize his voice initially until he started talking more and more. I was like, I've seen clips of this. Why does this seem very familiar all of a sudden?
Immediately knew after 2 lines. I was like, this is a reunion and I know them.
I just think they're bringing a lot of people from like the Walking Dead cast, right? I'm not crazy.
Yeah. No, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is cool because I think the writer for Invincible is also for Walking Dead.
I think so.
I'm going to check this real quick and fact check myself real quick.
I don't remember.
Robert Kirkman, right? Let me see.
I want to say one of them is.
Yeah, Walking Dead. Yeah, Robert Kirkman is also, he helped on. I say helped.
No wonder they all said yes so quickly.
Checking this. Yeah, created by. Yeah, it was also created by Robert Kirkman. Yeah. Okay, cool. I wasn't crazy. So I think that was really cool. Conquest. Cool. Crazy.
Oh, yeah. A little pervy, too. I ain't gonna lie.
He's just lonely, dude. He's just lonely, bro. All right.
No, lonely is the right word.
He's lonely. I read after, and this is probably one you were talking about, how that like him giving his monologue about how how lonely he feels is just original to the show. Yeah. It was not in the comics, and I think a lot of cool. Comic book readers said like that actually adds a lot, and it was really cool, and also creepy at the same time.
Yeah, it was just a little creepy when he was stretching out poor little Oliver. I was like, oh my god.
Just he's like, first you'll feel this, and if you're conscious enough for this, you'll feel this. And I'm like, oh no. I think Oliver finally got but not fully. He still believes he can do it. But I think that was like the first moment that is like maybe the closest wave call to, brother, you need help.
Yeah. A cry for help.
Yeah.
No, Conquest is interesting.
I think I yelped as in like, oh, he did, like when they're in space, the heart, the little heart from his blood thing. I was like, he's like, I'm loving this. I was like, oh, okay. Bro.
You know what was brutal? When he put Mark's face on the ocean and then hit all those people on the beach and through all those buildings and through a lot more people. They
redid the bus scene essentially.
Yeah.
But I'm used to it now, sadly. So I'm like, oh no, I'm desensitized. But oh no, Mark, he's doing it again.
I think he's traumatized.
That
last episode was crazy. That's how you end a season.
Also, Eve, like, oh man, I actually thought she was gonna die, but then, because I don't know how they're gonna continue, like, how close they'll keep to the comic, right? So when they showed they were like almost dead, I was like, oh no, this is it.
I think you should watch the special episode. It breaks down her
power even more so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Power. Yeah.
They actually. Oh, okay. Yeah. I will. You know.
They break down like what they did to her essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have a year, so yeah, you're right. I've just
exactly
got a quick watch.
No, I thought that was cool though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man, there's just so. I think it's hard to. There's so much that we could talk about, and it would just be like it would end up being like 2 hours at this point.
Oh my gosh, honestly, yeah.
And I don't know about you. There was a point as I was watching through season 3, I was like, they're jumping around a lot to a lot of subplots.
Yes.
There is an overarching thing, and I got worried. I'm like, ooh, is this gonna be like just
Too much.
jump here, jump
too
there?
Yeah.
Like,
I could feel it too. I got a little nervous halfway through.
but
the season.
they would connect things. There was things that would connect. So I was like, okay, not too like initially when they're like, oh, we're gonna find an apartment. I'm like, okay. They started a business. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, but it was connected to multi-pol, which is connected to like the, order and all. It's
And
there.
then the twins that stole the Declaration of Independence, they came back, and
Oh,
I thought that
whole
was
thing.
really cool.
Yeah, actually, that episode was cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think
there's just a lot. There's a lot.
it was just funny that like we're so used to like him worrying about relationships, and then when it comes to Eve, it's like she's okay with it, and I'm like, even I was like, yeah, she understands, and even I was like, oh, good, she's got it, sweet, because Amber is just like a human, right? So it makes sense. But this was nice. It was a nice. Like,
they were really pushing those two.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just I was just worried that it'd be a lot, but it ended up not being a gripe. It was actually just more like, oh, cool, we're getting perspectives or like different maybe tying up loose ends. Like with Rex, I did not expect that. So here we are.
Exactly. Well,
Okay.
I have a question. Do you think 8 episodes is enough? They've done 8 for the last few.
I think it's been working. I think
it's been working for them.
For what they're doing, it's been working.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's be real, if they stretch it out anymore, I'm worried about animation at this point.
Yeah.
That's my.
I think where they ended this season is good.
Mm-hmm.
It leaves you with more questions, if anything. Yeah.
And I will say the cliffhanger, if we're talking about the end of the season, this may be because I don't know anything about the comics, right? I may start reading.
Me too.
Who knows? I don't know if that. Comment down below, I guess. At this point, you're here, right? I guess let us know if that's a really big moment, because it seems like it should be big. I should be freaking out. I feel like
freaking out. Yes.
I will say the guys in the Viltrumite outfit, right? Am I crazy?
Yeah, they are.
I think he was, or one of them was the one that summoned the other dude.
Yeah, the one of them.
It was the one that was like talking like like just very proper, but then the other guy's just like super casual, and I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Like the demons, right? Let's say demons.
Demon. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it should be big, and I don't know how hyped this could be. So I guess just let us know in the comments.
We'll wait and see for season 4.
Should be good. Any other comments you want to say for the season?
No.
Or anything else you want to bring up?
So good. It was good.
Yeah.
For once, Harrison watched ahead of me a little bit.
Yeah.
I
did good, right?
Yeah.
I did good.
Yeah. You did.
Now I gotta catch up on everything else.
Oh boy.
I will be honest, I shut everything else off because I was like, I need to watch this show, because I just could not stop.
You're like zoning in.
I was so locked in. It was like, this show's so good. One thing I hope for next season is they handle their animation schedule a bit better. Or I don't know, maybe it is budget. Who knows? It could be a lot of things, right? I just hope.
No, I agree.
Yeah. It's just weird that like it feels like it's a steady decline. And I don't want the year goal that they're trying to do
to affect that.
To affect that. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It feels weird to say they have a whole year, right? But I know they're not fully working on it all
the time.
Yeah, I don't know what other projects is the team's working on, so.
And it could be kind of like an Amazon blocker as well. You never know. So.
Yeah, I think, and for me personally, and I know we've said this offline, is like Amazon, the Prime Video is literally just The Boys and Invincible box.
Invincible, yep.
I know there's other good shows. I just have a backlog, guys. All right.
Yeah, that's what this podcast's for. That's what we're doing.
Keeps me accountable, I guess. Yeah, and Veronica just breathes down my neck as I hate you to watch this yet. I'm like, no.
Hey. True story.
True story. I can't wait for more. I see you in a year, I guess.
Wow. Okay. Just kidding.
For Invincible.
I was like, see you next week, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and close it out then.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. You can follow us on all our socials at NgoVo Convo and NgoVo Convo. If you're on YouTube, comment down below. Let us know what your thoughts on the show. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you have the same gripes as us? Do you think we're stupid? I don't know. Just let us know at this point.
Just everything.
I would say let us know what to watch next, but I'm not letting you or anyone else add to my backlog at this point. So
That's funny.
ha. But yes, don't forget to hit all the buttons from right to left. Subscribe, but all of them from right to left. You'll see what I mean. Other than that, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.